Hello, everybody. In this episode, I'm going to be going over halitosis, or more commonly known as bad breath. So, without further ado, as always, I'm not a dentist. I am not a doctor. I just have a lot of experience. I have 10 plus years of experience in the dental field. My main job is to educate patients on their treatment plan based on what the dentist found, what was a possible cause of why they got into the situation, what the dentist recommends them doing to get out of it, and more importantly, how to prevent for in the future for them to not get into that situation again, and educate them more with more common words on why it is that they're in the situation that they are, and explain to them much more clearly so they understand and hopefully prevent themselves from getting it again in the future. So, halitosis, aka bad breath. There are many things that cause bad breath. Some are more simple than others. Sometimes it's much more complicated. But essentially, bad breath is when your mouth is dirty, or your tongue. It could be potentially your tongue as well. And there, for the most part, it's just dirty stuff, but it's very easy to get rid of, and it's really easy to take care of. Now, there are people that when they go to the dentist, they say, "Oh, I have halitosis," and some of them don't even know that it means that they have bad breath. Um, but it's not a common thing anymore, to say the truth, especially at a dental. Well, I'm not gonna say anymore, but it's in our dental practice. I've pretty much only had one person ever tell me that they have halitosis and know what it actually meant. Um, so, what can you do to prevent halitosis or bad breath? I'll just call it bad breath from now on. Um, you obviously want to brush your teeth on a daily basis. You want to make sure you floss. Flossing is super important to get rid of bad breath. You also want to use mouthwash. Mouthwash is also very important when it comes to getting rid of bad breath. And if by any chance, if you feel like your tongue feels dirty, then you can definitely use a tongue scraper to remove the the extra accumulation you might have of dirt that's inside that's on top of your tongue. Now, when it comes to a tongue scraper, you want to be very gentle because you can damage the taste buds in your tongue. So you want to be careful when it comes to that. It's not something that's super serious, but you want to be gentle on it. You don't. There's no need to push down aggressively. As long as you just place it on your tongue, put a little bit of pressure, and then you scrape down, you'll be good to go. And you will instantly feel the cleanliness in your tongue. So you don't have to. It's not something that you have to do every day. It's just something that you have to do once in a while, maybe once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. However you want, but you don't need to do it every day. So there are a couple of things other than that cause halitosis, bad breath. You have, for example, periodontal disease. Periodontal disease causes bad breath. And if you're a person that has periodontal disease, then it doesn't really matter how many times you brush your teeth. It doesn't really matter how many times you floss. It doesn't matter how many times you use mouthwash. You're still going to have bad breath at a certain point. And the reason why is because the plaque and tartar is seeped in through your gums. And if you have a lot, the more you have, then the more you're going to notice the bad breath. It's not something that you're going to notice in the beginning, but once you get into a more advanced stages or towards the end of stages, then you're definitely going to know that the bad breath, because it's going to be sticking out like a sore thumb. You and everybody that's around you that smells your breath is going to notice. And that's mostly caused by periodontal disease. Another thing that can cause bad breath, sometimes if you have a crown that you got, and it could be either that it was placed wrong, it could be that you have periodontal disease and you got a crown for a tooth, and they didn't take care of the periodontal disease, so the crown is not placed well. Um, or it could be that maybe the crown might have broken underneath, or some of the cement came off. And what happens is that when you drink something or when you eat something, something might get jammed up underneath the crown, and that food will decay, and that can cause bad breath. In most of those situations, you'll notice that there is a bad odor normally coming from the crown underneath. In those situations, what a dentist has to do, uh, I mean, they would normally either, remove the crown, clean up the insides, and then that'll fix your situation. In most occasions, you'll probably have to remove the crown if that is the case. There's sometimes where people feel that there's a lot of bad breath coming out from crowns, and it's mostly because they have periodontal disease or they're just not cleaning the area in. There could also be a symptom where they have gum recession in a certain space, and that causes little pocket holes where food might get stuck in, and that can cause bad breath. Normally, when you go to a dentist and they do a cleaning, they'll clean the area, and that'll normally get rid of the bad breath. But obviously, in due time, because that pocket hole is still there, the bad breath will come back. But primarily, when it comes to bad breath, it's mostly there's certain situations where you do have to just be extra careful when it comes to cleaning. And in other situations, for example, periodontal disease, you definitely have to be on top of it. You have to take care of your gums to prevent yourself from getting bad breath again later in the future. Another thing that causes bad breath is you just ate an onion, a really bad onion, or a pickle, and just people just don't like that. They don't like that smell, and that can be considered bad breath as well. So a lot of things that can cause halitosis. Okay, and again, you just want to make sure you always go to your dentist, get checked out at least twice a year. If you have periodontal disease, you want to get checked at least 4 times a year, and get your cleanings, and that'll prevent, for the most part, bad breath. Okay, so as always, flourish and prosper, and have a good day.